After Catherine lost her husband, she juggled multiple jobs just to make ends meet. Yet financial hardship remained a constant. Despite her own challenges, she began helping an elderly man in her neighborhood who was also in need. Then one day, to her astonishment, a mysterious van showed up at her doorstep. After Catherine's husband, Raymond, passed away suddenly from a heart attack, her world changed overnight. Once a full-time homemaker raising 5 children, she was forced to take on multiple jobs just to keep the family afloat. Eventually, financial pressures led her to relocate to a more affordable neighborhood in Pennsylvania, where she could manage the rent on a modest home. It wasn't ideal. Her children had to share just about everything, but it was the best Catherine could manage for them. Thankfully, her older kids were teenagers who understood her situation and willingly helped care for their younger siblings. Still, Catherine carried a heavy guilt. She never wanted her children to give up their childhood to shoulder responsibility, but with 3 jobs and bills piling up, she had little choice. Each morning, Catherine cleaned homes in a wealthy neighborhood, then spent her afternoons working as a cashier at the local supermarket. At night, she took on a part-time shift at a gas station convenience store. By the time she got home, her legs felt like jelly, and most of her kids were already fast asleep. She missed them deeply and often wished they had more time together as a family. Her eldest daughter, Anne, said she would help save money for her car. The kids had been taking the school bus to and from school, but Anne said that a vehicle could be a source of income for them, thanks to delivery apps and such. The young teenager was almost 15 and couldn't drive independently, but she was working at the local movie theater to help out. Catherine's second eldest, Isabella, took care of the kids after school. She was 13 and cooked, bathed, and helped them with their homework. Catherine hoped that one day she could repay all their sacrifices, but for now, this was their life. At noon, Catherine was walking to the supermarket to start her shift there when she saw an older man staring at the window of the bakery next door. The smell of fresh baked bread permeated the air, and the most salivating treats were displayed in the window. However, the man merely sighed and started strolling away. Catherine felt awful for some unknown reason and stopped the man. "Hey, sir. I think I've seen you before at the store," she greeted. "Yes, of course, young lady. You work at the register, right? It's nice to see you." The older man tilted his hat at her and started to walk away. "Wait, do you need anything? You're not carrying any bags from the store, and I must admit that I caught you looking at the bakery," Catherine said, smiling kindly. "Well, young lady, honestly, there was a leak in my roof this month, and I had to spend my entire month's pension on it. I don't have much money for treats or groceries, but the smell of Paco's bakery has always made me stop and stare. There's nothing like oregano and Parmesan bread to make my mouth water," he said and laughed. "But I don't know when I'll be able to buy some of that again. Every month, the prices go up, and my money seems to spend itself in a flash." Catherine pursed her lips at him and told him to wait. She rushed to Paco's bakery and purchased a loaf of the famous oregano and Parmesan bread, which the entire neighborhood adored. It was pretty pricey compared to what you could get anywhere else, but it was worth it. She knew that buying it would hurt her finances, but the look on the older man's face tugged at her heart. "Here you go," she chirped, handing him the bag when she exited the bakery. "I can't accept this," he tried to reject, but Catherine insisted. "Please, let me do something kind for someone today. We should all be kinder to one another," she continued, giving him the bag. "I'm Catherine, by the way. You can find me at the store in the afternoons. In fact, my shift is about to begin. See you around." "Thank you. My name is Jack," the older man called out, and she waved him goodbye while running to the store because she was a bit late after that encounter. But she spent the rest of the day happy. In the following days, Catherine would see Jack daily and bring him something to eat. At night, when she would prepare the next day's lunch for herself and the children, she would also make something for the older man. He was incredibly bashful about it, but accepted it, which made her think that he honestly needed it. Eventually, they became friends, and he even offered to babysit her kids if she ever needed it, which was a welcome offer because her eldest teens could use the break. Jack lived close to her house, and it was convenient. But one day, Catherine exited her door with the kids ready for school when they all stopped in shock. "Mom, what's that?" Anne asked. She saw her daughter's mouth open and her finger was pointed at something. There was a brand new van on her driveway. "Oh, it must be a delivery person or something," she said, urging her kids along as they had to go to the bus stop. "No, Mom, it's parked and it looks new," Isabella interjected, and the other kids were looking at her excitedly. "I don't know why it's there. Maybe a neighbor had nowhere else to park," Catherine trailed. Looking around, she noticed many vacant parking spaces. It didn't make sense that someone would park in front of their home. Suddenly, Jack appeared from behind the van. "Surprise," he said quietly. "What?" she asked in confusion. "This is yours," he revealed, smiling this time. The kids cheered in delight and touched the van all over, but Catherine couldn't believe it still. "Jack, how did you get the money for something like this?" she asked him, concerned that he had done something crazy. "Catherine, you have become my friend and welcomed me into your family with no questions. I can never repay that, but I had an old watch stashed away. It belonged to my grandfather, who brought it over from Germany after the war. It was worth a pretty penny," he said, gently patting her shoulder. "I can't take this. That money could really help you." She declined, her face scrunched in concern. "Anne told me about the car she wanted to buy, and how doing deliveries and such could help your family more than your current many jobs. I had to repay you somehow," Jack persisted with his grin. They went back and forth on the idea for a while until Anne stepped in with a hopeful smile. "Mom, maybe you can quit one or two of your other jobs and focus more on this. You'd finally have more time at home with us." Seeing the hope in her daughter's eyes, Catherine understood just how much her presence meant to them. She wrapped Jack in a heartfelt hug, thanking him for his kindness and support, grateful for everything he'd done, even though she had never expected anything in return. Catherine soon started working with various delivery apps and eventually began earning a decent income. A few of her children often accompanied her on deliveries during the day, turning work into a bit of family time. Best of all, she was consistently home in time for dinner. What you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you liked this story. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also, subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss updates from our channel. Thank you.